It all started during lockdown when I disappeared into my shed and I built my first whirligig. And before long, I was making 10 a week, 25 a week, 50 a week, and I was selling them on eBay and to friends all over the place. Made a fortune. Anyway, if you want to see how to make whirligigs, just look at this series. They're in no particular order, but I cover all things: how I finished up with my final design, how I make the hubs, how I make the propellers, how I design them. It's all there. All you have to do is watch, and you too become a millionaire like me and retire to Barbados and lay on a sandy beach with all the money you earn making whirligigs. Only joking.
Hello and welcome to Mr. Whirligigs How I Do It. I don't know what else to call it really. Since I've put my last load of videos up on YouTube, I've had loads of inquiries about how I work out what I'm going to do. And if you've watched them, I think there's 22 different videos up there now. You know, I like to standardise things because making one-offs is great fun, and I enjoyed making ones off. But when I got so many orders for whirligigs, and I think in the end I sold in excess of 200, I think, before I finally gave up because we moved house and we lost the shed. And that's another long story. But let's just tell you how I worked out how we finished up doing it my way, Ted's way, Whirligigs way. So what we do, we just show you. This is a typical one of my my whirligigs. This is the one where the dog moves, and then we have ones where you've seen them where the wood chopper or the bird or whatever moves. But we'll do some of them later, show you them. So how did I finish up with that? Well, as you know, the bed, which is what I call the bed here, is standardised. That is the same size on all the whirligigs I make. This mechanism here is standardised. It's the same one on all the whirligigs, just a different colour, and it works exactly the same way, and that gives me up and down. And if you go on to one of my earlier YouTube videos, it'll show you how I make that. And then the base bit here, you can slide up and down. So once I've worked out where the balance is on the whirligig, it will balance. So I can just move that up and down. So it's got two screws in. So that is the mechanism bit. But what everybody's interested in is how I came up with this design or this way of doing it. So we'll run through it. So rather than design different bodies for everything, what I did, I came up, and I can show you. I came up with four ways of doing things. We got a lady with two legs, no body yet, because we can put any body on we want. We have a lady with one leg. Again, we can do whichever way we want to do it. And then we had a man or a lady with one leg. Okay, so there are both. And as you can see, some of them are curved on top, and some of them are straight. I'll go into that in a minute for you. And then we have, the man with two legs. I haven't got the cardboard one for that. The hardboard, I made them out of some. I made out of hardboard, and some I just made out of card. So that is it. So I had a standardised bottom. Yeah, a standardised. Yeah, you got bottom. Yeah, bottom. And then all we have to do then is design the top. So with the gentleman here, which is the man with the ball, okay, he just goes on top. So I can show you that. See, so here he is in cardboard. Now, as you can see, this man has got a double brimmed hat on, and if I wanted just a baseball hat, I just take that bit off and it's just got a baseball hat. So then all we then got to do is put him on a base. So what we do then is I sort of work out what's the best angle, and I do it with cards. So let's just move those out of the way. So we finish up with that, and then we put a pin on, and we just see, oh, does that move? Yeah, now that's quite a nice movement. So he can move that way. Or in the case of the dog one, where I didn't move the man, I moved the dog. Can you see here? We moved the dog. Now I could have mounted it the other way. I could have mounted it where I could have put this up this end and put the dog that way, had the dog stationary and the person moving up and down with the ball. All that would have meant was getting the ball lady, which is there, you can see, and she would have then just fitted on top of there. Yeah, and we would have made two pieces and put a little axle point, and that would have been the movement there. Can you see with the screw on the end, and then we could have thrown the ball that way. As you can see, I haven't put the ball on because some had a ball and some had I can show you a bone. You see, so using this system, I just drew the bone on and just put the bone on, which worked exactly the same. And then because we do it in two bits, I can decide before I sort of trace this out onto a piece of wood to cut it. I can bend the girl. I can bend her down if I'm solid. So if she's bending down for a little dog, or if it was a Great Dane, she'd be up here, wouldn't she? So that's really how we do it. We make them out of cardboard or hardboard, whichever, and we play around like that. Then if the person's moving, then we have to have the leg made with a slot in, so we can put the person in there and just move them up and down like that. I think that one goes in that one, does it? Yeah, see that goes into that one. So and then the chopper would work that way. So that's how we worked it out. So that's how we did the body. And again, you can do what you like. You can have a ball, you can have a bone, you can have a lady with two legs, you can have a lady with one leg. That was the beauty of it, doing it this way. Is I could do it whichever way you want. You could have the lady like that if you wanted to, with trousers rather than a skirt. Yeah, that was so that's how we did. Of course, then once you've got one done, then you've no need to do no more. You just use this as a master, and you just draw around this and just cut it out with the old fret saw, and there it is. It's quite simple. How do we fix them? Let's just show you. I don't know if you can see. You can see that we just made a piece of wood there, made it to look like a rock, and put a slit in it, and she fits in there quite well. Can you see? And just a little screw in there to screw either side, just to hold her on, and she's there. And again, with Rover the dog, again we start with a blank piece like that. Drill a hole through, two slots, and we finish up with something like that. Oh dear me, how many of these I made? Loads and loads and loads, very popular. And then you just here's his doggy. As you can see, this is where I sort of stopped. He hasn't even been painted yet, and he went in there and went up and down, and we put the little screw in on there. So it's quite, say simple, but that's the reason why I did it this way, so I could standardise everything. Yeah, so it's a bit like, I suppose, dressing a Cindy doll, isn't it? You different legs, different body, different head, different heads. I've got different heads. So that's how we did the dog. Here he goes. And he worked very well. And then this is one of the early ones, because I did this on thin wood here. But in the end, I went to this way here, which is on the thicker piece of wood. Can you see? Mainly so I could get a better fix in. I found that better than the little piece, so I used that. So there you go. On the original ones, this was a 10mm threaded stud. I went down to 1/8. I went down to smaller ones. So that's it. Well, I hope that has given you some encouragement of the way I did it. Yeah, I think it's different if you're making one-offs, and if you go on YouTube, you can see some wonderful whirligigs that people have made. Obviously, got great fun of making the whirligigs. But the one I did, because Yeah, I forget how much I was selling them for now. £25, £25 plus postage. Really, yeah, yes, you are earning. The actual cost of the pieces of wood and the paint, is next to nothing. It's a fiver, if that, £5, if that. But the time involved, it got to the stage where I was going to, instead of a hobby, I was having to go to work. I think one Monday morning I got up and I think I had an order for 15 Whirligigs, which was great. 15 times £25. Yeah, that was wonderful. That was 250, 250, 175. That's £375. Yeah, plus postage and packing. Yeah, so that was really nice. But it took me. Oh, and I thought, oh no, I don't, I'm retired. I just like making them. So this is it. This is the final. This is with the ball. I'll make. I'll do a few extra ones later. If anybody wants to see any made, I can show you how I do them. But most of them I do start with my magical box, which has got, as you can see, has got the cutouts here. And there's Woody Woodpecker. That was the Spitfire. That was the Seagull. That was Gino, the great thingamajig. There's the doggy. Two dogs, as you can see. We've got the dog there that we've done, and then we've got a Labrador. Again, it works exactly the same on one of them. It just goes on the leggy bit. Can you see? Yeah, and it just goes up and down like that. Yeah, painted black, of course, for a doggy woogie. Doggy woogie. Speaking to the grandchildren here, and then that's the one that we've got there. You can see, and that's the one there. Anyway. We'll do another one next week for you. I'll try and keep up. If anybody wants me to make a Whirligig, a different one, I do like a challenge. I've got somebody. What have I got to make? I think. Where do you get these from? I'm still trying to source a supply. If I do, I'll put it on there where you can get them from. That's all I've got left. So that's it. Anyway, be good, be happy. Most of all, be kind to the animals. This is Mr. Whirligig signing off. Be happy. Thanks a lot.
Well, thank you very much for watching the video. If you'd like to support my channel, you can do so by obviously sharing and liking and subscribing to the channel. But even more, I'd appreciate it more if you'd love to buy me a cup of tea so I can dunk my biscuits into. Would be greatly appreciated. Follow the link in the description. Thank you.